But this morning, when I checked for the latest news, I found this message. Our editorial director and face of our Canon Rumors property has taken an open-ended leave of absence from all things Canon Rumors. At this time, we have no immediate plan in place to deal with this unfortunate absence. We are looking to find a solution in the near term so that we can best serve the Canon Rumors community. We will update the community when it's appropriate to do so. I've spoken to Craig Blair on and off over the past several years. In fact, the first time I spoke to Craig was in early 2020, and I wanted to reach out to him about, well, how I covered this channel, the stories I wanted to talk about, quoting him and see if he had any issues. I didn't want to step on any toes, and in that first half an hour phone conversation, Craig was, yeah, go ahead. I don't have any problems with it. I don't do YouTube. Knock yourself out. Not only was Craig didn't have a problem with that, but he reached out to me about a few weeks later. He had some information about the Canon 1DX Mark III. And that information, well, it was to do with the announcement date and time. It gave me about 6 hours head start over everybody else. So much so that I was able to, well, it was the first video ever to shoot up to 40,000 views. And prior to that, I was lucky to get 10,000 views. It got the channel monetized, and that was a big deal. I was super excited. And since then, I've been talking to Craig Blair on and off over the past, well, I guess 5 years now of doing this channel. I always appreciated Craig's honesty and his integrity and his approach to doing rumors, trying to get the information validated as much as possible. He pioneered the Canon Rumors format that we have today. Craig Blair has always been the heart and soul of Canon Rumors, but if you've been following the site recently, I think you'll notice, as I have, that his heart and his soul just haven't been in it lately. And I guess at some point, our hobby changes, our passion changes. I love doing this. I've been doing this channel for the better part of 5 years now. And I have, well, at heart, I'm a camera geek, as is Craig Blair, and we just love talking about cameras that we're able to shoot with, lenses, but as important as that is, it's the anticipation of new gear, what it can mean for our outcomes, our results, and what value it can generate. And that really creates a sense of passion. But I also understand at some point that this really does get to us. At some points, working long hours, some of the comments, some of the feedback, it gets to us. And about 2 weeks ago, I felt down. I was just tired. I've been working crazy hours doing my day job and doing this. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So I pulled back for a few days. I took it easy. And then a news story came out and I was right back on it. You see, what I've learned to do to cope with the strain, the stress, and everything that's going on is whenever that starts to get to me, I give myself permission to quit, to pull back, to say, okay, I need a break. And that's why you haven't seen as many patent videos lately, because I'm giving myself a bit of time to breathe, to sleep, to relax, so that way when we do have these major announcements or big news stories, I'm there, and you can see from my face that I'm as eager to report on this as you're eager to hear about it, especially as we get close to major camera announcements coming from Nikon, Sony, Panasonic, and Canon. Specifically speaking, the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1. And I was talking to Craig as early as around, I think it was Wednesday of last week, and he told me he had some information that he was planning on releasing on Friday. He told me he couldn't say anything about it. He was under tight, well, I don't know if embargo is the right word, but he couldn't say anything. And he even tweeted out something in similar words that he can't say anything, but he was excited. And I don't know what changed from that Wednesday to, well, Friday, because I reached out to him on Friday, absolute silence. He wasn't even checking his messages. And I reached out to him this morning when I heard that he wasn't doing Canon Rumors anymore, and dead silence. I really do hope all is well with Craig. I hope that that no family emergency has befallen on him, and that nothing has, I just hope nothing bad has happened. You work with people over the years, you become friends, you become colleagues, and this sudden departure shocked me and surprised me. And if some of you were worried by this thumbnail, don't. I'm not going anywhere. I love this too much. I'm a big camera geek. Not only do I love this camera gear, I use it on a daily basis. It's an awful lot of fun. But I also want to convey my importance to my integrity, loyalty, and honesty. And protecting the confidentiality of my sources. I want to grow this channel. I would like to be the de facto first source that you come to seeking the latest information on Canon, Sony, Nikon, and Panasonic, especially Canon. It's the first camera brand that I started off with, if of course we ignore that Kodak camera back in 1979, where, remember, you have to put the flash sticks in the top and you only had about 6 of them and they were pretty expensive. I love this too much. I'm not going anywhere, and I've developed a few new sources over the past few months, and I hope I develop more. But I'm not Craig Blair. I'm not Canon Rumors, at least not yet. And maybe with your help, maybe you have some information that you could provide me with. I can tell you right now that there's an awful lot of people out there that are dying of hunger and thirst for at least some morsel of information on the upcoming Canon EOS R5 Mark II. The EOS R1 as well, and of course the Nikon Z6 Mark III, and of course what Panasonic's doing with the S1R Mark II and the S1H Mark II, but specifically the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. There's so many of us that are looking to purchase this camera that are very interested in this camera, and even if we don't have Canon cameras, we have a Nikon or a Sony, we're very curious to see what Canon does with this because, well, like it or not, Canon is still the de facto market leader with 48% market share, and what they do matters. It helps set trends. So if you do have information, then feel free to reach out to me using a direct message on X or Twitter, or you can reach out to me to my email address down below this address here. And if you're extra careful with the information and you want to protect your own information as well, not just rely on me, well then go ahead and set up a dummy email address at Gmail or whatever site you want, and then send me an email, because people are really eager to find out what's going on. And Canon Rumors recently said that we were getting a big announcement on May the 15th, and well, I don't know if that's going to happen, but as I said last week, if we don't get any leaked information over the weekend, that to me is severely in doubt. And as of this morning, there's no news release on Canon, Canon USA, Canon Global about a scheduled announcement. And if the R5 Mark II is not just a very, very minor update, I can rest assured that Canon will have some sort of scheduled announcement, at least on YouTube. And that's something we haven't seen yet. So I'm working really hard. I'm checking with my sources, but this is one of those years that very few people seem to have the information, and those that do aren't willing to share a whole lot. So again, I do ask, if you are interested in reaching out, please contact me using my email address, this guy right here, or reach out to me on Twitter. I'm really excited by what we're about to see here, and one thing I can say more than anything else is protecting your anonymity matters way more to me than this camera channel's growth. The last thing I would want to do is put anybody's job or position at risk. That's not what this is about. This channel is primarily designed for those who really do love cameras, lenses, and accessories. People who, when they get a camera in their hand, something turns on in their head, thinking about, I've got a vision of what I want to capture, and then set out doing it, as I did this weekend. So all I can say right now, folks, is I don't have any news published or ready to go for tomorrow, the next day, or the day after. Like you, I'm waiting for new information. And with Canon Rumors shut down, that tightens up the number of sources we have. But I am listening, and hopefully I will bring you something very soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors, don't forget to subscribe and choose all notifications, and follow me on X. And Craig, if you're watching, I hope everything's okay. I see you as a friend. I appreciate everything you've done. You've been like a mentor to me over the years, giving me advice and telling me what not to do and what to do at times. And I have appreciated it. And when I didn't hear from you Friday, I thought that was rather strange. I didn't see registration of the messages being received, and again this morning. So again, I say, I hope everything's okay, and I wish you all the best, my friend. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you again soon.